Greetings, Soulswind here, and welcome to Let's Play Cooking Simulator Sushi DLC. Now, this is episode 300 of the Let's Play series for Cooking Simulator. I've covered so many things from the Food Network DLC to the Cakes and Cookies DLC, the Pizza DLC, as well as the Shelter DLC, and now the Sushi DLC. 300 episodes covering the different achievements, the different gameplay modes and whatnot. Well, 300 is not as significant as 500, so I'm not going to do a montage of, all the gameplay throughout the different DLCs in the base game. Instead, since it coincides with the Sushi DLC, we're gonna do something special for the DLC. And what will it be? Now, I have seen quite a number of player feedback on the Steam store page for the game about the tutorial videos. I encountered the same problems as well, whereby I'll be watching these tutorial videos. There's quite a number of them. They're quite informative, yes, but for me, I'm more of a person who has got really poor memory, so I prefer to learn it step by step because a hands-on approach makes it easier for me to store this kind of memories. I cannot learn as well when it's okay, this is what you have to do from start to end. Just listen, just focus, concentrate, then remember these and replicate what I have just taught you. No, that's not going to be applicable for me. So I think there's something like a learning style thingy, like VARK, V for visual, A for audio, R for actually RW for read and write, and K kinesthetic, whereby it's actually learned through example and actually working on it. For R and W though, you still take action but you write it down. So for me, it's more of a visual as well as a K. So a visual and also learn by example. So K is more of learn by example, by actually carrying out the actions, the steps and everything. And I've also read some feedback on the Steam store page that people would want to just have a step-by-step list to read when we have the video open, or rather, as long as we have the phone brought up and open, we cannot move. Literally, we cannot move. It's good that the developers have patched in a pause on the game when we are watching the tutorial video, but we want to okay, these are steps 1 to 5, and that's more than enough that I can remember. Can I try it out first? You say this step, okay, can I do this step first before moving on to the next? Well, with this approach, we cannot really do that. In the base game, they did it quite decently. It's just step by step at the bottom left corner of the screen, I think. Yeah, and then you just have to follow it step by step. Each step is highlighted and you just progress from one to the other. But that's not the case in the Cakes and Cookies DLC, in the Pizza DLC, or in here. The Shelter DLC is quite similar to the base game, so I think we can always depend on the base game to learn a bit about the Shelter DLC. However, I do remember the Shelter DLC being close or similar in tutorial to the base game. Here, what I want to do as an announcement for episode 300 of this Let's Play series is to try to cater to the other visual learning styles, because in class, a teacher wouldn't be able to try every single learning style for everyone's learning style, right? Because that's not possible. Similarly, I do understand why the developers are not able to cater to every learning style available here. So this will cater to the visual and maybe a bit of the audio, but then again, you're just listening to music, not exactly doing anything. So the visual learners would benefit from this, but the rest of the A, R, and K learners may not be able to benefit from this learning style. So I hope that through my episodes of the tutorials, I'll be able to show the A, R, and K. And since I'll be carrying out the steps, that's also visual, right? It's still step by step. So you have a visual and I'll be narrating my steps. So that'll be audio. I'll have the steps written on screen as well. What I'll try to do is replicate the base game, the writing, or rather the reading and writing. The reading will be there. If you need to, you can write it down or something. I'll try to see what I can do about that. I think it should cater to it. And then the kinesthetic. So you can have my video brought up. Actually, I think that's what the developers are trying to do, right? I think that's their initial intention. Actually have a phone you can refer to. what we usually do when we're learning a new recipe. We have our phone, we refer to the recipe, and then we try out the steps one at a time. Suppose they have these tutorial videos on their YouTube channel. You can bring it up on your mobile device or on a secondary screen or whichever. Even if you have one screen, you can always Alt-Tab out and Alt-Tab back, because like you can pause the game, Alt-Tab out. But if you're just watching the video on the game itself, there's no way you can Alt-Tab, because that's not even an option, right? You have to start afresh. You can't pause the video and be like, okay, let me try this step. That's not possible with this implementation. I hope to achieve this with the upcoming episodes on the tutorials, and hopefully you'll find them useful. Then again, all the tutorial episodes are recorded on version 6.0.7. So I'm quite certain the game will change, there will be updates, and things will be different. If they eventually become somewhat obsolete or completely obsolete, I do apologize for that, but there's really nothing much I can do to anticipate what sort of changes there might be. So I try my best to cover as much as I can in the tutorials, where possible, without trying to go off on a tangent and do all sorts of experimentation for each of these tutorials. Because ultimately, it is supposed to act as a walkthrough for those who do require a different style of tutorial. So having said that, I might group some of these tutorials into one video. Like for example, group it like this: custom dishes and dish evaluation, standard dishes and dish evaluation. I think that's the only group that I have established thus far, but that would be one of the approaches so that they are more congruent, or the logic flows better. So we'll see what happens there. So this is roughly what I plan to do for the upcoming episodes to commemorate 300 videos of Let's Play Cooking Simulator. Hopefully you'll find these informative or useful in a way. And I apologize if somehow they do become obsolete, like I said. Well, that's it then. There are still 2 more career mode days that I've recorded, and they will come out before episode 300. So they will not have an episode number until I have completed editing all of these tutorial videos. For me, I look forward to the updates and fixes on the game. Most importantly, being able to put the sushi onto the plates. Because due to the latest update on version 6.0.7, we are struggling with putting sushi on the plates, especially the nigiri. Like, we used to be able to put more, now we can only put 2 instead of 4 on a long plate. And sticky containers. Yeah, these are the 2 things. Also, the wasabi, if they fall to the floor due to sticky containers, they cannot be picked up again, like I mentioned in one of my previous episodes. So that's something that the developers could consider fixing as well. I think that's most of the key things that I hope to look forward to on the fixes. Otherwise, it's been pretty fun. I will continue the career mode and let's see where the game takes us. Once again, thank you all so much for the support on the past 299 episodes of this Let's Play series. I hope to bring you more episodes if there are more DLCs on this game or major updates to the game, like new modes and whatnot. For example, the custom menu in the base game. Otherwise, again, thank you so much for all your comments and all your views and support for this Let's Play series. And thank you so much for watching. That's all I have for now. Have a nice day.